to the Burgess Football Podcast with my co-host Eli A and guest speaker Jackson G. Today we're going to be talking about anything related to college football. First off, we're going to kick it off with my co-host Eli. Who do you think deserves to be in the playoffs, Alabama or Florida State University?
Deserves to be in the playoffs?
Yeah.
That did.
Because it didn't make it.
Personally, I would say Florida State University because as you can see throughout the later into their season, their star quarterback got hurt with a season-ending injury, and that Alabama played one game against the top team Georgia Bulldogs, and they somehow got second in the top of the playoff rankings. And Florida State didn't make it once with their great season that they had going 13-0, my bad. And Alabama, I believe, going 13-1, taking the spot over them, which, in just my opinion, Florida State should have made it over Alabama because they just had a much better season. And with their star quarterback getting hurt and still doing really well, I feel that they should be over Alabama. But
Jackson?
I'm going to agree with your co-host here. I would say Florida State deserves to be in over Alabama because, as he said, with their star quarterback, even though he was out near the end of the season, they still maintained their undefeated record throughout. Alabama was not able to keep their undefeated record, yet they take a playoff spot, and Florida State does not. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Florida State.
With that, who do you got going to the college national championship?
Between Alabama and Michigan, well, of course, I really hate to say it, I would have to go Michigan on one side of it, and on the other side, between Washington and Texas, I'm gonna have to go Texas. So
personally, for the college championship, I'm gonna obviously have to take my team, Washington Huskies, because dream team, the Seattle Seahawks, are also from there. So I kind of believe in Washington's gonna make it to the championship and win it. And just looking throughout all of his stats throughout the year, I really believe in Michael Penix Jr. becoming a good quarterback and leading them to the championship as a left-handed thrower. And I believe he should also be drafted by the Seahawks if he could as well.
With that, you already said who you got winning the college national championship. Jackson, who do you have winning the college national championship this year?
Even though I said Michigan's going to make the championship, I will never put my money down that Michigan's going to win it, so I'm going to go with Texas.
All right. Besides that, let's go look at Ohio State. We might have Marvin Harrison Jr. coming back this year. Eli, how do you feel about that?
I feel that I know it would be a great opportunity for him to get drafted, most likely as the first draft pick in the NFL because he's a fabulous player throughout college. And just him about to come back, I feel like that since, as he stated, he wants to win a Big Ten championship and beat Michigan, I feel like with all the NIL deals he's being offered by college, I think it's over $10 million, I believe. If not, my mistake, I have no clue. But he's got a lot of NIL deals coming through, and he's making about how much an NFL player would make, a rookie NFL player would make in college. So I think that it'd be a great opportunity for him to come back and hopefully next year win a Big Ten championship and get the Heisman Trophy. As you see, had a chance this year, but didn't get the chance to get it this year because was it Jordan Daniels, I believe, from LSU won it, and he should just be great for him to come back and win a Big Ten and beat Michigan. So,
Jackson, how do you feel about him?
I was just going to add to Eli's standpoint really quick. I think that Marvin Harrison is going to benefit even more from a quarterback that can truly see his potential and use it effectively on the field. Because I don't feel, while Kyle McCord might have been a decent quarterback, I don't feel that he used Marvin Harrison as much as he could have. I feel like that even if there's a new freshman quarterback, that if he's still a strong player, that he'll see the amazing player that Marvin Harrison is, and they'll be able to work together to get through the season.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of guest speaker Jackson over here, really talking about the new QB line throughout Ohio State. As you see, Kyle McCord went to transfer portal and is not playing for Ohio State anymore. With the new quarterback, I feel like it could either be an upside for Ohio State or a downside because maybe the quarterback wasn't as aware as McCord was, or maybe they're going to be more aware as McCord was as like a second and third string quarterback for Ohio State, as they should know the plays from all practice. But maybe we just didn't really get to see like their awareness knowledge throughout in a game. Maybe they had more awareness than McCord throughout this season, and like noticed mistakes that he's done throughout games that they could have easily had fixed by the time they were about to like break the play and start playing. But it could be either an upside or a downside for this new second and third string quarterback coming up into the first string for next year for Ohio State and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Well, we're going to leave that off like that right now, and we're going to go to commercial break.
On DraftKings, new customers bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Also, there's a 2-in-1 deal right now going on DraftKings for the Washington Huskies in the college playoffs.
Welcome back. From the ad, remember the 2-in-1 deal on the Washington Huskies for the college playoff. With that, Eli, coming back, you left us off with Ohio State with their second and third string quarterback. How would you feel about a freshman high school recruit coming up and playing for Ohio State?
As we can see, the 5-star recruit coming out of high school, he's committed himself to Ohio State as one of their QBs. So, speaking of that, since if we watch his highlights and maybe stats, we see his stats from high school, maybe he will or will not rank over these second and third string quarterbacks. But just looking at his stats and how good he did throughout high school, he might be the starter. You never know. But I feel like we should give the second and third string quarterbacks in Ohio State the chance of trying out at least as a first before we put our 5-star recruit up there. But in my opinion, he is probably going to become a good quarterback at Ohio State, and hopefully he doesn't want to go in the transfer portal like McCord did.
All right, well, with that, this ends the podcast. I'll see you next week on Burgess Football Podcast. Burgess Football College. Welcome to the Burgess Football Podcast with my co-host Eli Ivanovich and guest speaker Jackson Golke. God